Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in peace with me. Come walk in peace with me. Come walk in peace with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Welcome to this morning, this day, this opportunity to be together in virtual community during this time of joy and challenge. Our Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of the Emerald Coast is a place where we come to learn more about being human. We're not here because we've figured out life's questions or because we think we've got it right. We come here to learn more about being in relationship together, how to listen, how to forgive, how to be vulnerable, and how to create trust and compassion in one another. We're always willing to listen and question and change as we learn from each other and from all of history's wise thinkers. Today we'll hear from Reverend Daniel Kanter, Senior Minister at the First UU Church of Dallas. First recorded on May 24th, 2020, his title is Sustaining Miracles. What constitutes a miracle for you? Is it a faith healing, turning water into wine? Is it a sunrise, a child, a butterfly? Like the quilt pattern behind me, how you see things can change depending on your focus. Welcome.
We are not confined by the physical limits of walls, or for that matter, of what often binds us, restricts us, holds us back. We are freer than we know when we release ourselves and each other from expectations of what is needed for true community. We are here, together, in this space. I see you. I hear you. I love you.
Negative.
This is Amy, and I'm glad to be with you again, even though you're sitting in my little office with me and you can't be sitting in front of me listening to this story, but I'm going to tell you a story today. I found this book because I heard the author do a TED Talk on the radio, and I thought, wow, that's just a cool book. So I bought the book, and I'm going to share some of it with you. So the name of the book is, let me get it up here. Everyone is an alien when you're an alien too. And first, let's talk a little bit about the word alien. Oh, by the way, this book is written by Jonathan's son, but he goes by, in this book, this is Johnny, but misspelled just a little bit. So we call him Johnny. And if you want to listen to his whole TED Talk, you can do that on YouTube. Just search for Jonathan's son on YouTube. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about being an alien. So sometimes we talk about an alien as being someone from outer space. And sometimes we talk about an alien as being just someone from another country. And sometimes we talk about an alien as being someone who's just different than we are. And I think in this book, an alien is all of those things. So this is Johnny. And he is coming to Earth in a spaceship. And his assignment is to study humans and find out all about the Earth's creatures. Now you'll notice that all of these are people or things are aliens, but they all have square heads, except for Johnny. He has kind of a bean-shaped head. So he's already an alien from outer space, but he's kind of a little alien from the other aliens. So he says, "You're leaving me here all alone," and they say, "Sure, but we'll come back and get you." And there they go. And there's little Johnny all by himself. So the first creature that he meets is this one right here. And he says, "Hello, are you an Earth creature?" And well, we know it's a tree. And the tree says, "Yes." And Johnny thinks, "I have met a human," but it's not human. Then he meets this other little tiny creature and he says, "Tell me about yourself." And the snail says, "Gee, nobody's ever asked me about myself. I guess everybody tells me that I am too small and too slow to make a difference in this world. But I'm making a difference in my own world, and I hope that is enough." So sometimes people tell you you can't make a difference because you're too small, or you're not smart enough, or you're not rich enough, or you're not loud enough. But you can make a difference in your own world. And then Johnny meets something really big. And he says, "Wow, you're big." And this creature says, "Are you going to run screaming from me then?" And Johnny says, "No," and pokes him in the belly button. And the bear, because we know it's a bear, says, "Oh, thank you," because everybody else is running away from him. And now Johnny meets another creature, and the creature goes, "Woof," and it comes out like a little heart. And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand that word, but that's okay." And then he meets another thing and says, "What are you?" And this thing, of course it's an egg, says, "I don't know yet." Right? When you're an egg, you don't know what you're going to turn out to be. Isn't that exciting? So it's exciting to find out what we're going to be, even though we don't know yet. And of course, he meets a bunch of other creatures. And now he meets all these little creatures and says, "Hello, who are you?" And this is a caterpillar. It's not about who we are. It's about what we will become. And this is a tadpole. It says, that is the gift of being a baby, or a child, or an adult that's still trying to figure out what they are. And here's Mr. Egg again that says, isn't it exciting? And now Jomny goes back to his tree. And of course, the little tadpole over here said, the gift of being a baby is finding out what you will become. And Jomny says, because he's still learning English, what is a gift? Can I have a gift? And now here's like, this is funny, only adults will get this. Or kids might get it too if they've read this book, this other book. And the tree says, actually, I learned to stop giving things to somebody just because they want something. I don't think that would end well for me. And Jomny says, what if I give you a hug? And the tree said, oh, I love hugs. But really, you don't have to give me anything to be my friend. And I'm like, here's another new word. Jomny says, what's a friend? And the tree says, a friend is anyone or anything who shares a life with you that you would never be able to experience without them. So we're going to end there because it's a really big book and there's a lot of stuff in it. There's a lot of things to think about. What does it feel like to be different? What does it feel like to meet someone who thinks that they're different, but you like them anyway, and they like you anyway, even though you're both aliens? And I love Jomny. We may come back and read some more about Jomny and what he meets and what he learns about being human as he spends his time on this planet away from his friends. So I want to thank you for listening to my story, and I'll have some more stories as I learn to do this talk to people in Zoom and record it thing. But wave to me even though I can't see you, and I'll see you again.
Miracles by Walt Whitman. Why, who makes much of a miracle? As to me, I know of nothing else but miracles. Whether I walk the streets of Manhattan, or dart my sight over the roofs of houses toward the sky, or wade with naked feet along the beach, just in the edge of the water, or stand under trees in the woods, or talk by day with anyone I love, or sleep in the bed at night with anyone I love, or sit at table at dinner with the rest, or look at strangers opposite me riding in the car, or watch honeybees busy around the hive of a summer forenoon, or animals feeding in the fields, or birds, or the wonderfulness of insects in the air, or the exquisite, delicate, thin curve of the new moon in spring. These, with the rest, one and all, are to me miracles, the whole referring, yet each distinct and in its own place. To me, every hour of the light and dark is a miracle. Every cubic inch of space is a miracle. Every square yard of the surface of the earth is spread with the same. Every foot of the interior swarms with the same. To me, the sea is a continual miracle. The fishes that swim, the rocks, the motion of the waves, the ships with men in them. What stranger miracles are there?
It's a miracle. How many times this week have you heard those words, or within a month, or even from this pulpit? It's a miracle. We throw it around and mean many things by it, from there's enough coffee to make our cup today without going to the market, or the remission remains, or more? What about water into wine, the voice my wife heard before she was diagnosed last year with cancer that said, "You have cancer"? What about the time I threw out a letter from a girlfriend in the States that was sent to me at age 19 in a city, when I was living in a city in India, that said, "I quit, we can't do this long distance thing"? I threw out the letter, and a month later, when I was finally through a line to a man selling roasted chickpeas on the other side of the city with 10 million people in that city, to my surprise, when I opened the packet of chickpeas, there was my letter inside the folds of the newspaper. Miracle? It's a miracle. What about a moment in the TV show Making the Cut, when an old Italian designer meets an old friend walking in the market in Tokyo, half a world away from his home? Or what about the moment that is seared into my two sons' memories when they were visiting family in France, enrolled in a camp, sailing out in the ocean, when a storm suddenly came up, and with the counselors yelling instructions in French that they could only half understand or half hear, they steered the catamaran toward the beach, and somehow skipping over the water, something popped onto the canvas of the boat right between them, an American penny. Let's face it, weird things in the world happen. We can't explain everything, yet we try, and as Unitarians, we aren't that good at miracles. Our heroes and sheroes used reason to prove things and said miracles were irrelevant to prove the divinity of Christ, arguing the teachings were the important thing. And get serious, people who really think wine is made of water in a magic trick. That's not what's important, we have said. And we aren't that patient with waiting on miracles to solve our problems. Today we know we can't just sit around and take magic medicine and all will be well. Miracles or science, magic or coincidence. I want to tell you today that this false dichotomy, the focus on miracles, proves nothing about life. In some way, I get it as a hope that we are loved by the divine even as we are alienated. But I don't need explanations, and I don't need evidence of God's love for me to be magical. I see miracles everywhere and stories of miracles pointing to something divine about life. And beyond that, I see miracles not in magical moments, but in convicted and purposeful human beings like you. I found a story recently of a man named Pedro Reyes who created a project called Palas por Pistolas. Reyes, who originally is from Mexico City, collected 1,527 guns from the Culiacan area in Mexico. The project offered those who gave up their weapons, which were then steamrolled publicly and melted. They were given a coupon that allowed them to buy electronics and appliances. And Reyes used these materials from the weapons to create shovels that were then used for planting trees. Since its completion, public schools and art institutes from Vancouver to San Francisco to Paris have received shovels for community members to plant trees. In his analysis of the problem of guns in his community, he said, a paranoid society will always be fueled by civilians buying more weapons and by massive military spending. To destroy weapons that are designed to kill, to melt them down, and to recast the metal into shovels to plant trees. The idea of social sculpture, that is to make physical transformation that will hopefully lead to a psychological transformation and a social transformation. That was his intent. And that wasn't the end of Pedro Reyes' ideas. He decided to try it again and take thousands of weapons, guns that gangs had used to kill each other, guns exchanged for another project. He collected over 6,000 weapons, and from them he built an entire orchestra. He said lives were taken with these weapons. Changing them is a sort of exorcism. The music expels the demons that they held, as well as being a requiem for the lives lost. It takes courage to do such a project. To see it takes a miracle of sorts. I see miracles in you who are working to save lives and care for the sick. I see them in parents carefully holding together families and children's lives in the midst of this full-time parenting and pandemic. I see them in you living your life with integrity against all odds in a society that is almost given up on integrity. I see them every day. We are living miracles in a world where guns can be turned into music and shovels to plant trees around the world. We are living lives of miracle where quarantine can be turned into new ways of family life and new priorities for work. We are living lives of miracles that can remember the dead of war or mourn the new dead of a virus and hold the tensions of loss in the absence of ritual or gathering, and join together across the world through our computers and phones and make meaning together like we're doing this morning. We are living lives of miracles when we let ourselves be moved by the wonder of life, the things we cannot explain, as well as the things we can that make a difference. We live lives that remind us how you do anything is how you do everything. Our efforts as much always do make us precious and life precious. They are the heart of life, the efforts we put in to each other, into our work and our families. I see miracles of all kinds telling us that we are entangled in webs of connectivity, beyond our ability to see them, that moments of cause and effect or majestic divine moments call us to make miracles and find them in our lives. So friends, miracles. Walt Whitman in the middle of the 1800s wrote this poem. He said, "Why who makes much of a miracle? As to me, I know of nothing else but miracles, whether I walk the streets of Manhattan or dart my sight over the roofs of houses toward the sky, or wade with naked feet along the beach just in the edge of the water, or stand under trees in the woods, or talk by day with anyone I love, or sleep in the bed at night with anyone I love, or sit at table at dinner with the rest, or look at strangers opposite me riding in the car, or watch honeybees busy around the hive of the summer forenoon, or of animals feeding in the field, or birds, the wonderfulness of insects in the air, or the wonderfulness of sundown, or the stars shining so quiet or bright, or the exquisite delicate curve of the new moon in the spring. These with the rest, one and all, are to me miracles, the whole referring, yet each distinct and it's in its place. To me, every hour of the light and dark is a miracle. Every cubic inch of space is a miracle. Every square yard of the surface of the earth is spread with the same. Every foot of the interior swarms with the same. To me, the sea is a continual miracle. The fishes that swim, the rocks, the motion of the waves, the ships with men in them. What stranger miracles are there? Walt Whitman puts it the way I see it. I see miracles like these telling us that we are entangled in webs of connectivity beyond our ability to see them. That moments of cause and effect, or majestic or divine moments, call us to make miracles and find them in our lives. They call us to appreciation of what we have and can do, what we know and cannot explain, what we are and who and all we must confront. We can turn water into wine, and guns into music, and lives changed into new, amazing things. I see it all the time. Friends, I want to close with something special today. Pedro Reyes built these instruments, and the music is abstract, but it's beautiful to see. Guns turned into music, just like we can turn whatever we are confronted with into the miracle of life that we have. Enjoy now this short clip of Reyes's project called Disarm, Guns Turned into Music, a requiem for the dead. Amen and amen.
Flame is extinguished, but not our hope for the future, our courage in the face of crisis, or the love that we share in all the world.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and